My dear friends, we often search far and wide for remedies to heal our wounds, to cleanse our past, and to protect ourselves from unseen forces that weigh down our spirit. But today, I want to show you that the answer lies much closer, within your own body. The navel, the center of your existence, is not just a mark on your stomach. It is the first connection you ever had with life, the cord that tied you to your mother, the gateway through which nourishment, vitality, and breath of life flowed into you before you even took your first breath. It is the silent reminder that life begins from the center. And when energy becomes blocked, when curses, whether spoken by others or carried silently in our own thoughts, take root, it is here, at this sacred point, that healing must begin. By placing the right element, the right intention, and the right energy on your navel, you can awaken the ancient memory of your body. You can dissolve the invisible chains of negativity, and you can rise again, lighter, freer and whole. Remember, curses are not always the whispers of others. Sometimes they are our own doubts, fears, and repeated negative patterns. To break them instantly, you must realign your center, restore balance to your energy, and remind your body of its original purity. So tonight, let us explore together 10 key truths that explain why this practice is not superstition, but science of the body, energy, and spirit. When we reflect upon the navel, we must remember that it is not merely a mark on the skin, nor just a physical reminder of where the umbilical cord once existed. It is the very center from which life first entered us. Before we saw the light of this world, before our first breath filled our lungs, the navel was our lifeline. It carried to us the essence of nourishment, the silent rhythm of growth, and the invisible thread of connection that kept us alive within the womb. It was here, at this center, that we were sustained. Through the navel, our body received the energy of blood, oxygen, and nutrients. Yet beyond the physical, something far greater was transmitted. Emotions, states of mind, even unspoken energies passed from mother to child. The navel is therefore not just biological, it is spiritual. It records, remembers, and reflects the very conditions under which we entered life. It is a sacred mark of origin, a reminder that life itself does not begin with the breath, but with connection. When you place your awareness upon the navel, you begin to touch this memory. It is like opening a hidden door in your being. You can feel that this point is not random, but central, carrying the echoes of the very first heartbeat you heard, the very first warmth you felt. This is why traditions across the world have always emphasized the navel as the seat of energy, the root of vitality. It is not imagination, it is lived truth that every single one of us has carried since our first moment of existence. Think of it this way: a tree can never deny its roots. The strength of the trunk and the beauty of the branches depend entirely on the depth and nourishment of what lies beneath. The navel is your hidden root, your inward root. Just as the tree draws strength from unseen soil, you too draw power from this center. It is here where your earliest connection to the universe was formed. And it is here where new strength can still be awakened. This is why many people, when facing imbalance, anxiety, or even feelings of being cursed, find restoration by returning to the navel. Because the navel remembers what the mind forgets. It remembers purity, it remembers life, it remembers harmony. By bringing healing energy here, you remind your body of its original wholeness, before the noise of the world, before the wounds of experience, before the curses of others. The navel is not a scar of the past, it is the living center of the present. To touch it with intention is to awaken the ancient connection that sustained you when you had no strength of your own. And when this connection is remembered, you realize that no curse, no negativity, no external force can overpower the life force that has been with you from the very beginning. When you observe the human body, you will notice that all movements, all flows, and all postures originate from one central axis. That axis lies near the navel. It is the true middle of the body, the place where balance begins. Even in the simplest acts, standing, walking, or breathing, the navel serves as the hidden anchor. Without its alignment, the body loses stability, the breath becomes shallow, and the mind becomes restless. From the perspective of energy, the navel is like the hub of a great wheel. Just as a wheel turns smoothly only when its center is steady, the body and mind move harmoniously only when the navel energy is aligned. If the center wavers, the entire wheel falters. This is why imbalance in the navel area can create disharmony not just in posture or digestion, but also in emotions and thought patterns. The center governs the whole. Across ancient traditions, warriors, monks, and healers were taught to move from the navel. To fight, to dance, to meditate. All began with centering here, because when the navel is engaged, the body becomes grounded, the spirit becomes steady, and the mind grows calm. Imagine the difference between a leaf tossed by the wind and a mountain rooted in the earth. The navel is what allows you to be the mountain, unshaken by the storms of life. When curses, negativity, or inner conflict strike, they often disturb this center first. A person feels it as tightness in the stomach, unease in the belly, or a sinking sensation near the navel. These are not random feelings. They are signals that the center is losing balance. And once the center wavers, the entire system is vulnerable. This is why restoring balance at the navel is so crucial. It is like strengthening the foundation of a house so the walls and roof can stand firm again. Placing energy, intention, or healing elements on the navel has the immediate effect of drawing the body back to its center. It is a reminder to the body, here is your balance, here is your root. From this still point, all movements become effortless, all emotions find their place, and all energies begin to flow in harmony once again. When the center is restored, nothing external can easily disturb it. In truth, every curse, every negative pattern, and every shadow of doubt thrives only when balance is lost. But when the navel is steady, life itself becomes steady, just as a spinning top stands upright only when it turns from its true center. You too remain unshakable when you live from your navel's balance. This is not philosophy, it is living practice, something you can feel the moment you close your eyes and place your hand upon your center. The body is not just flesh and bone, it is a living library of memory. Every experience, every touch, every moment of joy or sorrow leaves its imprint within. The navel, being the first gateway of life, is one of the deepest holders of this memory. It contains not only the physical story of your beginning, but also the subtle vibrations of emotions and energies passed down during your earliest formation. It remembers in silence what the mind has long forgotten. When you place attention on the navel, you begin to awaken these hidden layers of memory. Sometimes this can surface as warmth, sometimes as a deep calmness, and at other times even as unease, because the navel does not lie. It reflects back the exact state of your inner world. Just as a mirror reveals the face without distortion, the navel reveals the truth of the body's memory. This is why it is such a powerful point for healing. Think of the body as an instrument. If one string is out of tune, the music will sound harsh no matter how skillfully it is played. The navel holds the memory of harmony. When it is aligned, the whole body can once again play the song of life in balance. But when blockages, curses, or repeated negative thoughts take root, the memory becomes clouded. The song loses its beauty. By returning energy to the navel, you tune the instrument again. and the music of your being flows clearly. This memory is not limited to the body alone. It extends to the spirit. The navel carries ancestral memory, the silent story of those who lived before you. It carries the emotional memory of your mother during pregnancy and even echoes of your earliest spiritual impressions. In this way, the navel is not just your memory, it is a bridge to the deeper memory of humanity, of nature, of the universe itself. To touch it is to remember you are part of something much larger than yourself. Many people live disconnected from their body's memory. They rely only on the thinking mind, which forgets, suppresses, or denies. But the body never forgets. This is why certain experiences, trauma, fear, or even words spoken in anger, remain trapped within. They rest like seeds beneath the surface, influencing your life silently. When you reconnect with the navel, these hidden memories can be released. The trapped energy dissolves, and freedom returns to your being. The great gift of the navel is that it does not just store memory, it also knows how to restore harmony. By placing healing energy here, you allow the body's original blueprint of health and wholeness to emerge again. It is like uncovering an old, sacred song that was always waiting to be sung. And once this song rises, the false imprints of curses, doubts, and negativity fade away, because the body remembers what it was always meant to be: whole, balanced, and free. A curse, whether spoken by another or carried within as doubt, is nothing more than energy moving out of alignment. It is like a river that has been blocked or diverted. The natural flow of life energy becomes disturbed, and with that disturbance comes heaviness, fear, or repeated misfortune. To break a curse is not about fighting shadows, it is about realigning energy so the river can flow freely again. The navel, as the body's center, is the natural place where this realignment begins. When you focus on the navel, you are touching the axis where all energy lines intersect. Think of it as the center of a web. If the center is intact, the web holds strong, but if the center is broken, the entire structure collapses. In the same way, curses cannot cling to a being whose energy is firmly aligned. They slide off like dust brushed from a polished mirror. But when the center weakens, those curses find places to attach themselves. Strengthening the navel is therefore the key to dissolving their grip. Energy alignment is not a mystical concept. It is a felt reality. You have experienced moments when you felt scattered, restless, or powerless. These are signs of energy out of alignment. And you have also known moments of calm focus, inner steadiness, and clarity. This is alignment. The difference is always sensed most deeply around the navel. This is why when you place healing elements here, you immediately sense release, as if the body breathes a sigh of relief and remembers its natural order. In this state of alignment, curses lose their power instantly. Why? Because curses thrive on imbalance. They feed on fear, confusion, and weakness of spirit. But once your energy is gathered at the center, fear transforms into strength, confusion turns into clarity, and weakness into calm presence. It is not about fighting the curse, it is about creating such harmony that the curse has no soil to grow in, no air to breathe, no space to remain. Alignment at the navel also reconnects the body with the greater rhythms of nature. Just as the sun rises and sets in perfect balance, just as the seasons follow their eternal cycle, your energy too can follow its natural flow, and in this natural order, there is no room for curses. Nature itself becomes your shield, because you are moving in rhythm with life, not against it. The navel is the point where this rhythm can be restored. Thus, every time you bring energy back to the navel, you are not only healing yourself, you are re-establishing your place in the greater harmony of existence. In that harmony, curses do not need to be broken, They dissolve on their own, like shadows disappearing at sunrise. And this is the power of energy alignment. It does not fight darkness. It makes it irrelevant. Every action in life is shaped not only by what you do, but by the intention behind it. Intention is the invisible force that gives meaning and power to even the smallest act. Placing something on the navel without awareness is simply a gesture, but when it is done with pure intention, it becomes a sacred act of transformation. Intention is the breath that awakens energy. Without it, even the most powerful ritual is empty. The navel responds deeply to intention because it is a point of memory and balance. When you touch it with an unfocused or doubtful mind, the energy remains shallow. But when you place your hand, oil, or healing element upon it with a clear and unwavering intention, the body receives this command as truth. It is as if you are speaking directly to your inner being. I choose to be free. I choose to be healed. I choose to live in balance. The body listens and obeys because intention gives direction to energy. Throughout history, healers, monks, and seekers have understood that intention is the bridge between the physical and the spiritual. A simple stone, a drop of oil, or even the warmth of your palm becomes charged when infused with focused thought. The object itself is not the source of power. It is your intention that awakens its hidden potential. In this way, the navel becomes not just a center of balance, but also a canvas upon which your intentions are painted. Consider how words of anger or love can change the atmosphere of a room. The words themselves are only sounds, yet the intention behind them makes them heavy like a curse or light like a blessing. The same principle applies to the navel. What you place upon it is less important than the energy you pour into the act. If your intention is clear, the smallest gesture can release the deepest burden. When curses or negativity weigh upon you, intention is the first weapon of freedom. A strong intention cuts through fear, doubt, and inherited patterns. It tells the body and spirit to remember their original state of strength. Without intention, curses echo endlessly, but with intention, their echo meets resistance and fades away. Energy always follows the path carved by thought, and intention is the blade that shapes that path. So when you return to the practice of the navel, do not rush. Sit with clarity. Place your chosen element with reverence, and let your heart speak through your action. In that quiet, focused moment, intention transforms into power, and power transforms into healing. It is this inner force that turns an ordinary act into a sacred ritual, and a vulnerable being into an unshakable presence. My dear friends, the navel is more than a forgotten scar on the body. It is the living reminder of your origin, the anchor of your balance, the keeper of memory, and the gateway to energy alignment. When you approach it with intention, when you honor it with presence, and when you place upon it the elements of healing, you are not performing superstition. You are awakening truth. Every curse, every shadow, every burden that has followed you can only remain as long as you forget your center. The moment you return to it, the moment you remember your power, the chains fall away. For no darkness can cling to a being who stands rooted in balance, aligned with nature, and alive with intention. So carry this practice not as a ritual of fear, but as a celebration of your strength. Place your hand upon your navel, breathe deeply, and remember life has always flowed through you from this sacred point. You are not broken. You are not cursed. You are whole. You are strong, and you are free.